My Love of Life Energy is a podcast created by Anna Scott. Anna knows that every human being sees life uniquely. In this podcast, she will talk to people and learn from them. These conversations are to shine the brilliance of each human being she speaks to. Join her. After each exploration, you will expand on your insights and see truth and beauty. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today I have the great honor and really humbled to have Dawn Lyons speaking with me today. And Dawn is the owner of 3 franchises in the Bay Area of BNI. And BNI is Business Networking International. And I'm just going to welcome Dawn, first of all. So thrilled to have you here.
Hi, I'm very, very excited to be here today.
So the reason I wanted to have you on this is that my husband had passed away during COVID, but for 10 years I was in BNI. And I recently came back and it's like somebody took the veil off my eyes and I said, oh my God, I thought it was good before I go, but this is the wisest business model I have ever seen. And I just want the whole world to know about it because it's brilliant. In the sake of technology, I go, this is what's missing in life. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it for so long.
So you just shared with me a statistic about BNI that 60% of the people don't know about what BNI is. So do you mind sharing what BNI is, first of all?
Yeah, BNI was originally started by a gentleman who was a business consultant and he wanted more clients. And he had the brilliant idea of, well, I know some people in town. They probably want more clients. What if we all got together and helped each other get more quality clients? And so it's such a simple concept. And today, basically how it works is there's chapters all over the entire globe. We're in 73 countries, right? Over 310,000 members globally. Right here in the Bay Area, my husband and I take care of 1,400 of those members, which we're super proud of. And the whole concept is if I hear a need for your product and service from my neighbor, my friend, somebody I golf with, whoever that is, that I would recommend you to them and then get you that business so that I can help you get a better life.
Mm. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
And it is a better life. I was just talking to your husband and partner in this business, Mike, and he was sharing with me about the better life, like that he noticed that people who come to work for him that are in BNI overserve him, like they give the best service.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. It's about depth and quality of relationship, but it's also these people are vetted, and there's a ton of transparency in BNI, right? Every single week, these entrepreneurs are meeting together. You got to show up, you gotta be there. You gotta be present. And I think that when you see that kind of consistency out of someone, you get to see them. And there's just that knowing that comes about that, well, of course I want to refer Anna because I see her every week and I know what she's about.
Well, it just takes, in this age of technology, what I've been struck by, because I see more and more going to technology, and the human factor and relationships don't seem to matter in some businesses. And what I'm seeing is that it's the relationships that I build that make all the difference in my life. And BNI is like a foster, it's like the hub of that. It's the creator of it.
I agree. I don't know what else to say. I totally agree. That was beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Well, it is. And I've had experiences where recently I went to, as a sub, you can go sub in BNI, and I went and subbed for somebody in their BNI chapter, and I didn't like my dentist. and I wanted a new dentist because somebody bought mine out. And there was a dentist there. And lo and behold, I had a one-to-one with him. I'm like, I want to refer my business to you. And then I got a chipped tooth and he took care of me immediately.
And again, that goes straight to relationship, but it also goes to ease, right? I think that in general, entrepreneurs are kind of workaholics. Like we love what we do so much that we just want to do a bunch of it, but then that can make us busy, right? And busy can be, there's a quote, it says, the greatest enemy to relationships is busyness.
Hmm.
And I love that, because if I can help entrepreneurs be less busy, their relationships are better. You got something that you needed in your life, and it was made easier because BNI was in your life.
Yes.
And I wish more people's lives could be simple. And I do think that BNI makes your life simpler in many, many ways.
Say more about, I mean, what you, I have, when you just said that, Dawn, my whole body got chills about simpler. And I want people to see this. So if you could explain that or expand on that.
Yeah. So imagine you're in a local town, a local community, and there's a group of 20, 30. We have groups that are over 60 members. All those people have a specific profession that they're in. So BNI only allows one person per profession in each chapter. Okay. So now you have this extension, right, of businesses that you're close with. Again, you're meeting every single week. And so that transparency is there, that consistency is there. But I think what I love the most is the teamwork and the collaboration. And most entrepreneurs don't have that. We're solo entrepreneurs. It's just us. You know, it's hard to have a sales meeting with just us. You know, it's not a very, you know, exciting meeting. It's just us. And we're looking at, do we have new clients or do we not have new clients? And when you can get around other like-minded people and you're talking about, how did you get your last new client? How did you get yours? Creation happens. You know, we start learning, we start identifying how this group of people can help us.
Oh my God, that is
And
simple.
yeah, so again, for your listeners, a chapter is going to have a chiropractor, an estate planning attorney, a real estate agent, a commercial agent, you know, all sorts of different insurances, but there are people behind these businesses. And I just really believe in supporting the people. You know, we just heard a story about a gentleman where he was probably going to lose his business, you know, and BNI rallied around him. You know,
Oh, wow.
he got some extra work. And think about all the things that happen, especially in this area during the fires. You know, people that couldn't even open their doors, BNI members were buying gift certificates so they had money coming in, so that when they could open their doors, right, they were going to be full.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
It's
I
people
just feel,
supporting people.
I'm feeling the compassion of humanity.
Yeah. And don't cry, because I'm going to start crying.
I mean, the thing that I can share a story. I had so I just recently joined again, and I have this small chapter that we're growing again, and there's a new real estate agent. And I had work that needed to get done. And the guy who was supposed to show up kept flaking. So I called the real estate agent, and she referred me one of her workers. And she was so cared so much about the quality of work that she made sure, and they were unbelievable. And I got it done less than it was going to be and a better job.
Simplicity.
Yeah.
Simplicity comes back to just doing good things for good people, you know, and we can just do more of that. I think that's what life's about. you
Oh
know?
my God. And it can be that simple.
It really can. This is a little off tangent, but I was just speaking with a gentleman in the UK. He speaks globally for BNI, and he said this one thing. Uh, BNI is my business. It's Mike's and I's business, right? We get that it's an organization that people join, but what he said was, I want people to stop thinking about their membership, and I want them to start thinking about, I'm going to my marketing meeting Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. because I have a team of people that can market for me when I show up, when I do good things for them, right? Our philosophy is givers gain. He goes, and then as they're getting to know people, we call them a one-to-one. He goes, stop calling it a one-to-one. That's what BNI titles it. I want people to think about it as, I'm going to go to a business meeting with a professional that could possibly refer business to me. What do I need to talk to them about today?
It's so funny because I know that this is the other thing is you're staunch advocate for continue to learn and grow. And that's what you permeate through your chapters, your organizations. And this, when you just said that, it actually changed how I'm looking at the meetings then.
Absolutely. So I get it. We own it. I want to talk about BNI all day long as well, because I think it does so much for entrepreneurs. But at the core of it, all BNI is a marketing tool. And just like any other tool, how well you utilize the tool is going to give you your success in that project. Our project is to help entrepreneurs be more successful with better and higher quality clients.
Oh my God. And it's so simple. Can I ask you, since you have over 1,400 people within your chapters, within your franchise, what have you seen that makes people thrive in their memberships?
Honestly, it is givers gain. Givers gain first and foremost. I believe the definition of givers gain is to give without concern of where it may come back from. Right? If I just give without concern, I'm not looking to like, I gave you a referral, you better give me one. That's not the mindset. The mindset is just give, and it is going to come back some way, shape, or form. So I think that that's key. And then I think that the other piece is really about consistency of quality relationships.
And what do you, Dawn, you've been in this game for what, 23 years? Is that correct that you've owned this?
23 years. Woo.
And say what you see about the consistency in relationships.
I just had a gentleman that has been in BNI longer than I have as a member. So he was in for 25 years. He just retired. He goes, Dawn, as I'm, looking through my clientele and everything, he has multiple clients that were referred to him his first year in BNI that have stayed with him for over 25 years. Yeah. That's the kind of consistency that we know that referral marketing can bring to a business. But at the essence of everything, it comes down to those two people that are choosing to work together, that are choosing to do good for each other, right? And that's just the beauty of, I think, what happens in BNI long term.
Oh my gosh. I also know the magic of BNI is that I can meet somebody. I've met somebody 10 years ago. In fact, he is now a member of our chapter, but he gave me my greatest referral that's had like 10 people beyond it. I mean, it's the strangest story. I met him 10 years ago. He gave me, somebody showed up as an apartment. I had to work with the guy, this other guy, But the guy I went to meet who didn't hire me is now a member of our chapter because we ended up knowing each other, falling in love.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's a wild story.
yeah, I love that. I love that. Hey, I fell in love in BNI too.
Oh,
I met my husband in BNI, right? So it's, you never know who you're going to meet and what's going to happen in that relationship. That is a beautiful thing.
well, I think that that's the other thing that BNI is providing is community.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Way too many entrepreneurs. I think I picture the little stick figure on an island. Here I am. I'm on my island. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my business. And there's no help. There's no support. There's no collaboration. And, I know that we might talk a lot about, you're going to better your business. You're going to get better business. You're going to get more quality referrals. I think that the members actually enjoy all of the superlative things that they get from BNI, which is business help and advice and guidance.
Yeah.
Because somebody will stand up and say, hey, I was dealing with this in my business and I asked for this and you guys got it for me and now I'm doing this. And then someone else will say, I need that too. I need to do that in my business. And so the learning that you were talking about and the growth and all that is just so important. But I think that there are too many entrepreneurs that are out there all by themselves. And if they could just come in and join a community like BNI, the support, the guidance, the advice, the friends, maybe a new partner for life, who knows? We've had multiple people get married through BNI. But just I have relationships that have lasted me 23 years. And without BNI, I might have never, ever, ever met that person.
You know what I love and what I'm just seeing about BNI? Do you remember Kmart, the store Kmart,
Yeah.
where they have the blue light special?
Mhm.
And this is like this blue light special on steroids because it takes care of the fundamental concern of your business of getting more business. But it also makes you a better business person because you learn from other people. But it also makes you more valuable as a business person because I have this room of referrals that I can support. It also helps me socially, that I don't feel alone and I feel connected. I belong to something larger than me.
Absolutely.
And I hadn't seen that many different, it's through this conversation I'm beginning to see the power. Like we think it's this one thing, but are we clear really what the power of this is?
Absolutely. I will say this, one of our members in the South Bay, his building burnt down. The first people to surround him were 100% BNI members.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, when my husband passed away, my BNI chapter took care of meals for months. I mean, just like the heartfelt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I don't know that you get those in a lot of organizations, like you can be a member of an organization, but it's just different.
You know what's so interesting about BNI? In my work, like one of the things they say, you don't have to change the truth. The truth doesn't change. And what I'm seeing about BNI is it hasn't changed. And can you speak to that? Because that to me is like, oh, we're dealing with the truth here, like how things work fundamentally.
Yeah, so things don't change. My belief is due to the relationship levels. BNI has always been about, I can't just join and expect you to give me a whole bunch of referrals because I'm a member. You and I have got to get to know each other. Do I like you as a human being on this planet? Do I think that you're an expert at what you do? Do I believe that you're going to take great care of the person that I'm about to refer to you? If I don't believe those three things, I'm probably not referring you. Doesn't mean I won't give you great business advice. Doesn't mean I wouldn't come in and support an event that you're doing. Doesn't mean I wouldn't do all those things. But until I'm at that point, that's where my confidence level goes up and says, I will absolutely refer Anna Scott anytime I can. And when you've built that, that's a truth. Now, it takes time to build it.
Yeah.
Right? Just like any relationship, you have to put time and effort into this relationship.
Hmm. And that's it. That's, that's what's fundamental, is the relationship.
Yep. Yep. Now, I think too that some people can get, I actually don't like to use this word because I think it messes with your mind a little bit. I do think that people can sometimes get overwhelmed, because if they walk into a room and there's 35, 45, 60 members, that can feel like a lot, right? But the one thing that we know in B&I is there's kind of these little subsets. Take the health and wellness team within a whole B&I chapter, right? The massage therapist knows a little bit about what the chiropractor does and the personal trainer does and the acupuncture does. And many of us that are trying to take care of ourselves are using multiple of those people, and so fundamentally, what I see when I want other people to see is when you walk into that room, it's not about, oh my gosh, I have to have an in-depth, super high quality relationship with every single person in the room. But my little team, I should have some really strong connections there. And that's kind of the fundamental process of getting business quickly, is building it within that. We call it a contact sphere. It's basically just people in your similar industry, but they're not in direct competition with you. And I think that just really supports so even this group, even though this group is 30 people, these 6 over here are the ones that I really want to focus on and develop first. And I think that helps people kind of get integrated into the group a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I like that as just a solid foundation for new folks getting started.
Well, the other thing that I love about BNI is that context here. And then there's the people that you fall in love with that, like, I become captivated with, and I want to give them referrals.
Yes, we love that. That's the exciting part.
So do you have you seen that with people in chapters?
Yeah, I had a gentleman who we were working together and we were going for a walk, and he said, he goes, I got to tell you, I don't think I want to be a part of a 60-person chapter. And I said, really? I said, can you explain? Like, give me some reasons here. And he goes, oh, it's a lot of people to manage. And I kind of held that one in. I didn't say anything right away. And I said, well, tell me more about that. Like, what do you think you've got to manage? And he's just like, all that time with all those people. And I could feel the overwhelm. And I said, look, and he was in a specific kind of classification. And I said, here's all your people that are really on your little team, your little subset within the chapter. I said, what if you just started there? And if you got anything else from anyone else in the entire chapter, you just consider that icing on the cake. I said, do you feel like you could work with those 6 or so people and get enough referrals from them to feel like your membership is highly valued? Like, you got a lot of value out of the membership. And he goes, oh yeah, like I'm already doing that. Like things are going good. And I'm all, stay with that mindset, because you can be within that little team inside of a bigger group and feel really comfortable.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
It just dawned on me, Dawn, that's no pun intended. God, no, I feel like an idiot, but that's all right. It just struck me how many people's lives you've impacted. You and Mike?
Yeah. Yes. It's humbling, it's exciting, it's nerve-wracking. It's tough at sometimes. We say the best part about BNI is the people, and the toughest part about BNI is the people.
Yeah.
When people don't know our hearts, I think it's harder for them to see why we do this. And ever since I was a little girl, so my dad worked for GM. We lived in Michigan. He worked for GM most of his life. As a little girl, like 6 years old, I remember him telling me, I was asking him why he was home during the day. Like, Daddy, why are you home? We were sitting on the front steps. He goes, well, honey, he goes, my company doesn't want me to come in today. So he's trying to explain to a 6-year-old what getting laid off means, right? And I didn't really understand it, but I remember feeling at the end of the conversation, I just felt sad for him because he couldn't go into work. Now, fast forward, I'm a teenager and I'm probably asking for some money. And he's like, Dawn, the purse strings are a little tight. I'm laid off again. And I just remember being mad. I remember stomping up the stairs. I went into my bedroom and I said out loud, I will never let anyone tell me if I can or cannot go to work.
Wow.
And that day, something just switched in me. I was just like, it's mean that my dad can't go do what he loves to do. Why should a company stop him from serving his family? Like all those things just like boiled my blood. I remember that clear as day. Clear as day.
And are you surprised at how big this has grown and the number of people that you're impacting?
Yeah. Yeah, when I started, I had 19 chapters, and today we have 62 chapters.
Wow.
So hundreds and hundreds of people have come through BNI over the last 23 years. On average, people stay 3 to 4 years. And then we've got people that have been in for 23 years. We have people, tons of people that have been in for 10. And what we find is that if you stay for a year and 1 day, you'll stay for over 3 years. If you stay for 2 years and 1 day, you'll stay for well over 5 years. And again, best thing about BNI is the people. When you build that community and have that support and have these people around you, it's really hard to leave.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the longer people are in, they're just like, oh, like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to see these people every week. It really does become like a little second family. And so many people call it, my BNI family.
Well, it is, but it has such, because of the blue light special, it's such an effective family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where else can you go to get, like, I can go to the gym and do one thing and maybe get a little social, but, a little bit, but it doesn't have the same intention, the same return on the investment.
Yep, not at all. I agree.
So what's your wish? What's your wish for BNI?
Well, we have a wildly important goal that I want to hit. And it is, I want to hit 100 chapters.
Okay.
With an average chapter size of 30.
Right.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of thinking my 25th year in BNI is coming up. So we're doing some things to really amp up our business right now. We are declaring the towns that we want to start chapters in, and we've never done that before. We've always kind of looked for the people first, but there's such a like a process and a structure around. So there's 8 chapters in the Santa Rosa area, right? But there's not one out in Sebastopol, which is only 15, 20 minutes away, but it's its own little community. It's a very special little community. And so what we're doing now is we're declaring what towns we want to build in. And then we're going to go find the best realtor, the best insurance person, the best mortgage, the most, and the best financial advisor, chiropractor. We're just going to go find those people and put them together, see how they all mix, right? And then be able to launch the chapter from there. So,
Okay. Well, I think I know somebody in Sebastopol to refer for that chapter.
oh my goodness. See how this works. You tell people what you're looking for, and oh my goodness.
There you go. Okay, so Dawn, we are at the end of our time, which I cannot believe.
Okay.
And how do people find out if more about BNI, and where do they look and where do they go?
Yeah, so our website is pretty easy. It's just BNISF, like San Francisco Bay, BNISFBay.com. And if they just click on chapters, they can go visit a chapter in their local area. You can see where every chapter is located, what day and time they meet. You can contact the president and say, hey, I want to come visit. Or you can just email me, Dawn, at bnisfbay.com, and we will absolutely help you find a good chapter for you.
Great. And if anybody wants to have a conversation to me about the benefits of BNI, because I got no skin in the game, thrilled to have that conversation, because it is the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. Okay. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is great. I appreciate it.